talk about them later. Now, Luka Doncic, he's been killing it this month. Pretty good. Mavericks have been much better after a slow start. 7 out of the last 10 they have won. They were a game under 500 heading into tonight. They're a game and a half out of the A seed. You saw some Luka magic, if people call that a thing. That was on Tuesday against the Celtics. Hit some incredibly clutch shots. But the biggest improvement that we've been talking about in the beginning of the season when everybody had him as a MVP contender was the shot selection didn't look good. Now, Mavericks have been ravaged by COVID. His three-point shooting is up. He's at just under 45% from downtown this month. He's now just under 35 for the season, which is pretty respectable. Now, this season, a lot of people, as I said before, picked him for MVP. He's now starting to play a little bit better. The Mavericks have won some games. They're close to 500. Is back in the MVP race, and in terms of betting, would you put some money on him now? Brian, since you hate Luka so much, we'll start with you. You putting any money on Luka?
For MVP, absolutely not. He's not even in my top 5 right now, and I just don't think that the Mavericks are going to be good enough to where he's going to be able to win MVP. Like, I just don't. I think he's going to have the numbers. He'll probably stay at where he's at all season long, 28, 8, and 9. I just don't see it coming where he's actually going to win MVP over some of the other guys we've seen. Now, I mean, LeBron James right now, I thought that he was in the lead at some point this year. They're on a 4-game losing streak now. You're seeing them without Anthony Davis, and it's sort of unraveling a little bit. But I still think that someone like him will be ahead of Luka because of where the Mavs are in the standings. And there are some other guys right now. Still, my front runner has been Joel Embiid for pretty much the entire season so far. And I just don't see Luka, unless the Mavs go on a crazy run, and they would probably have to trade Kristaps Porzingis to do so. Hot take. Then, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
So the odds for Luka to win MVP, pretty interesting. You can get them low as plus 900 on BetMGM, high as plus 1,200 on DraftKings. So it's interesting. He's kind of, the consensus has him about 4th right now in terms of odds. He's actually ahead of Stephen Curry in terms of odds that we can see, which is a little bit interesting there. Okay, Brian, you're not buying. Gerard, are you? Would you be willing to get in on some Luka action for maybe a mid to late season push for that MVP?
I mean, look, it depends on what you're trying to do here, right? If you got a pot of money, let's say you got $1,000 and you're like, all right, this is my gambling allotment, and I want to see and potentially throw some cash down on a long shot, right? At plus 1,200, right? That's some of the highest odds you can get. Why not? It's pretty decent value. In terms of him, do I think he'll win it? No, I don't think he's got to leapfrog LeBron. He's got to leapfrog Joel Embiid. He's got to leapfrog Jokic. Look, Jokic, with all stats being equal, the best player in the league right now, right? So I don't think he's going to have the wins and what is necessary. But let's say Dallas goes on one of those runs and they sneak into that 6 seed because, again, everybody else is bunched around 3 to 5 game separation. They get hot here, win 10, 12 games in a row. Next thing you know, they're in the thick of things in that 4 or 5 range. People might start talking again. So I think if you want to, as a long shot, throw some of your allotment down, why not? Do I think he'll actually win it? No.
Jamal, you heard Gerard talk about where he might need to go, and I thought that was interesting, maybe getting up to that 4 or 5 range. 1, do you see the Mavericks even possibly doing that? And then 2, you're shaking your head no. The initial question is, is it worth, if you got some money, like Gerard said, if you got a G to put down, is it worth doing that to put on Luka Doncic right now, or should your money be spent elsewhere in the MVP race?
Yeah, I think your money should be spent elsewhere. We all know Luka Doncic is a great player. Gaudy averaging 29, 8, and 9. Yes, Dallas is playing better. 7 and 3 in their last 10, but they're still not even a playoff team yet. So no, I don't see them, getting into that top 4 or 5 in the West, and that even 4 or 5 might be stretching in terms of an MVP candidate. He might need to get in the top 3. So there, like you mentioned, I think there are guys even with better odds in terms of what you can win that I would put money on, like a Steph Curry, for instance. If you're talking about a team that's not going to be in the top 5 in the West, if I had to pick a player that maybe could win MVP in that situation, I'd probably lean towards Steph Curry over Doncic. Yeah, I just don't see it. Maybe next year for Luka.
maybe next year. Well, I would ask Brian if he has more to say on Luka, but I would assume he probably does not.
Trade Kristaps Porzingis. Then we can start having a different conversation. They got to trade Kristaps Porzingis first. We're already seeing reports about like, oh, his brother's a dick, which we already knew from New York. Like, come on, man. Like,
actually, I didn't know that, but thank you for breaking that news.
Oh, Quentin Mayo on Twitter. Like somebody was, an NBA agent was complaining about Kristaps Porzingis' brother, and it's like, yeah, this is why I didn't kill the Knicks when they actually made that trade. I was laughing at Dexter because I thought it was funny, but I didn't kill the Knicks when they made that trade. And now look, Dallas is probably going to trade Porzingis within the next year, which actually might help Luka's MVP odds if they can get some talent and some guys around him that just fit better.
Well, guys, you know where they're going to trade Porzingis to? The Miami Heat. Moving on to the next.
No, they're not.
We're going to talk about